I think you've been listening to music long enough. Let's go! Welcome back, everybody, to the wonderful world that is Mechwarrior Online. My name is Yuntow, and you will be joining me as we embark on a great adventure for the Inosphere Coalition. So yeah, we have Thor Storm Legion playing against Smoke Adders 373. Honestly, with Division B being these two teams on the table, this is going to be some amazing matches. What a wonderful way to start this scene. Am I right? All right, so from both these teams, again, still waiting for the lock-on. We'll just kind of go over. So the Storm's Lost Legion, we got Royal Sir, Sea-Wiz, Magral, Fire Ant, Crossler, Flep, Kubanachi, Michael Hessek, Sir Epic Poner, Skippy Nipples, Heavy Money, Ben Miller, Griffin Space, and JC. Look at those wonderful people. And then going on for the Smoke Adders, also with a wonderful roster. Not sure if we're going to see everybody from both teams, but I bet we're going to see a good amount of it as people get swapped out in and out just to make sure everyone has a good time to play. So the leaders, we have Unfearing and Captain Judas. We also have Madcat 3050, Rick 88, Thorax ____, and yes, that's their name, 3 underscores. Vindicated, Good Try, John Bronco, Kralzik 242, It's Alright With Me, Dakad, or Dachad, maybe. Crap Chassier, oh, I'm so sorry, I see that guy all the time too. Gaming Goat, Skinwalker, and Crimson Shadow. Both teams are luck. Good luck, and have fun. Here we go, and let's get this match going! Alright, so let's get a little bird eye in the sky. We'll go ahead and introduce the red team right off the bat. Once again, this is going to be from the Storm Lost Legion. We have ourselves quite a beautiful looking mechs, I got to say. Bangs out, come Smoke Adders. Ooh. So we got Jay-Z in the Quick Draw. We got Sea-Wiz in the Phoenix Hawk. We got another Phoenix Hawk being piloted by Sir Epic Poner. We got Royal Star on the Javelin. We got ourselves 2 Fire Stars. So we got a little bit of quickness coming from these mechs. We got a lot of like close range brawl. We have a lot of medium pulses, a lot of small laser pulses coming out for it. A lot of close range weaponry. All pretty good. Let's go ahead and fast travel to the enemy team. Or the friendly team, depending how you want to look for it. Depending who you're rooting for. Need to see that in chat to see who is rooting for more. Love to see it. We got 3 Irby mechs. Madcat 3050 and 1 Irby, the K9, the Hero Mech, Rick 88, another Irby, R63, another Irby. So that's 3 Irbies allowed. You're not able to have more mechs than that with Thorax in this one as well. Love to see it as well. We got light PPCs coming around. We're also being followed by 2 Blackjacks coming off to the side, looking for a little bit of a range game. And so we got 2 light costs, 2 ER PPCs. I'm assuming these Phoenix Hawks are also bringing PPCs to the battlefield. 2 large pulses, in fact, actually, with ER mediums to help with the range. So here we go. We already got first shots. 1 cap being taken by Theta. UAVs finally going out, coming from Smoke Adders, so they can try to get a little info. If they do get pushed, it seems that they are aware there's a little aggression coming their way as you see them backpedaling a little bit, trying to receive the push that is being offered by Storm's Lost Legion. Shots going out. Quick Draw taking some nasty shots from those PPCs, and they are engaged. Looks like GC is the ones getting focused down, coming from Storm's Lost Legion. Looks like they're going for the Blackjack, probably going for legs. Artillery strike. Looks like it was an enemy or a artillery strike coming from Smoke Adders. First kill does indeed go down. Ooh boy, as they Warhammer does take out Jay-Z in their Quick Draw. Followed up, Unfearing actually gets lost by the Blackjack, so we have a 1v1 with Captain Judas taking the most damage with their poor Blackjack going down next, followed by McGraw doing some good work. Oh boy, love to see the fight. The little split fire going along. Looks like Smoke Adders is trying to take out the back lines while they're trying to focus on Thorax and Irby. It's a tough thing about Irby's, they're so tanky, they're so tough. We have an even spread with both teams. It looks like Smoke Adders is actually taking the most damage. Got lots of fights going on. Royal Star taking out the Rex finally, so now it's a 3v4. Sir Epic Poner taking a fair amount of damage. Looks like that's where the focus fire goes. Warhammer, once again, doing some great shots. Don't underestimate underscores. It's the hidden threat you don't know or realize. Looks like Rick is being focused first. It does go down. There's only 2 mechs left for Smoke Adders as they're trying to take the Adder down. The Warhammer getting a nice shot on the rig. Maybe we'll be able to take out the other leg to take out Crossler out of the fight. Looks like the Irby's just trying to stay alive, just trying to be in the fight. Looks like they are focusing the last Irby by Madcap, finally take out the other leg, not without taking Crossler down. This is a great fight as it is now finally 2v2. The Warhammer mostly untouched, the rest of these mechs being beaten and eaten alive. The Irby doing a great job trying to save his other leg, but finally going down. Not before taking the leg out of that McGraw. Now it's up to this Warhammer. Can the Warhammer do the damage? It's already got its left leg opened up. Now here's the question. It's a 2v1 situation, but both these mechs are super damaged. Royal Star, not afraid, wanting to go for it, going for that left leg, does indeed get it, but gets taken down, so it's now underscore versus McGraw. McGraw does have the height advantage. Is this going to be like a Star Wars representation? Is this Obi-Wan fighting Anakin? I don't know, but I've been watching too much Book of Boba Fett, so I have a lot on my mind right now, but honestly, this mech fight is going great. McGraw trying to take a moment of appreciation. So technically they do have the cap lead. They do know the Warhammer is legged. They could go for the fight, but with their right leg completely exposed, it is maybe a risk to do so right now. The Warhammer does have its right leg exposed, so there is a lot of temptation from both teams. But right now, Storm's Lost Legion has the win. They have one cap point, 11 minutes and 30 seconds to go for, but they could just sit here. Now it's going to come down to the hunger, the anticipation. Ooh, will actually get close enough. Ooh, shots coming out from the Warhammer 6R, trying to protect their right leg so they don't get damaged. McGraw actually taking a couple of shots and taking the hit for it. Well, patience did not last too long for both these people as they were both feeding at the fight. Now we get to watch the slow journey this Warhammer has to take to go ahead and take the cap away from the enemy team. It's going to be a second, but ultimately, what a fight. Storm's Lost Legion doing a great push into the enemy team, actually getting into the thick of it with a little bit of range provided by Smoke Adders and their wise move to pull back. Again, a great artillery strike coming at them in the very beginning of that fight, probably putting a couple of different shots on the enemy team. We're able to pull back, and there was a lot of good focus fire. It looked like both teams were making it very clear who they wanted to focus and who they wanted to go for, and both teams accomplished that effectively. Whenever you have it go down to one mech like this, that's typically because both teams did a great job. So, love to see it. Love to hear about it. And this is just the first map. We still got 2 more maps to go over. We're going to go over Polar Highlands. Both teams going to be able to play against each other once again. And then we're going to be also going over Mining Collective. Both teams playing both sides on that one as well. Checking with the chat as well. Oh, man. This is... Here, I'll put on some music while we wait. There we go. Right in time. The match is done. Woo! GG. All right, and there we go. Smoke Adders taking the first victory. Good job to them. I'm going to make sure I get the stats for them so that way I don't have to worry about it. There we go. Let's go ahead and look at that damage real quick. Quick shout out to underscore 530 damage. That Warhammer was the last one and did a great job. And again, easy shout out to Royal Star 351. Very close. Closely followed by McGraw, taking 346 damage. Good job to both teams. Let's get the next roster going. Let's get the team swapped.
Now, stealth mechs in comp are a bit of a mixed bag. Unlike in solo queue or in quick play, teams tend to be paying enough attention that a stealth mech can't get up to the same degree of shenanigans that we might be able to get away with 12v12. But the other factor of ECM, even if you don't have stealth armor, is that it can make it hard to get a lock on your mech and can help camouflage your signature on the map. You'll still be seen, just as with stealth armor, they can still physically see your mech. It's not a cloaking device. But ECM on something like, say, a Fafnir may be able to give just enough surprise cover that the Brawl push can camouflage where it is long enough that they're able to get the sort of surprise on a range drop from Team 1.
Absolutely. And I think ECM might be a clutch pick. I will let you know, Zane, because I do need to invite you after this match. But we are in the lobby. So I'm going to go over the teams real quick and try to give you some info. I can try to share my screen for you to make it a little bit easier for right now. I'm going to have to move quick because the match is starting. Oh my goodness, the excitement! Nothing's happening yet, but I just wanted to be excited with what was happening.
I mean, we're watching mechs smack each other. That's exciting to begin with.
All right, so I'm going to highlight it right now. So coming out of Storm Lost Legion, we do see a very similar drop as the previous one. We do see all the quick draws now being used by Jay-Z and C-Wiz. We do see a dragon coming out of here. The dragon being a nice little choice because it probably is running the 3 AC2s. No, shame on me. Actually looking for a brawl mech with this one. We also see 2 champions come out of this team. With actually 3 champions. Thank you for the clarification. We're seeing medium pulses, so we're seeing yet another brawl push. Beautiful mech, by the way. Heavy Money, love your mech. Looks gorgeous. All right, and going way to the other side, we're going to go check him out from Smoke Adders. We're seeing a little bit less focus on the brawl and more maybe a little focus on capping with range. We're seeing a Stalker, 3 Enforcers, and Annihilator in a Fleet 17. So already seeing an Annihilator come out from one of these early drops. An interesting pick. Do you think that it's going to be super helpful in this kind of fight?
I think it's interesting. What it looks like Smoke Adders is doing, looking at their map movements, is they've sent their fleet up to scout Gamma. And it looks like they're going to try to contest that hill we were talking about, rather than just ceding it immediately to Team 2. And... Sorry, Team 2 is who again?
Team 2 is going to be Storm Lost Legion. They're actually going for a Theta push, getting an early cap, and I like that Good Try from Smokeouters made the play not to take Gamma, to not single their placement. And it does look like Storm Lost Legion, after taking Theta, is not stopping. They're looking for that fight. They're going straight in if they can.
If I'm Storm Legion right now, I have the point, so I have the advantage, which means I can start looking for the fight I want. And I do think it's a bit of a counter, because we all love to play the mind game of I know you know that I know that you know, and so on. But if they assume that their opponent is going to see the position on team 2, that they have the better range spot, and just immediately go for some sort of counter push, committing to this kind of brawl deck could give them the surprise factor.
Action incoming. No, and I do think this is a really well played, because we did see that Smokeouters Good Try was able to scout out the enemy team, so they knew the position, and you can already see it on the mini-map. But just to clarify, they're taking some wide positioning arcs, trying to make sure that there's some Overwatch fire, so if one person gets pushed, which it looks like the Annihilator being piloted by Unfairing is the target. Look at that laser fire coming out of Krellzek. I'm so sorry for butchering your name. With the Enforcer putting out their E-Large laser. The Stalker being a classic E-Large laser mech. Looks like they're actually trying to put shots on them, trying to get the fire in before... Or trying to put the damage in, I should say, before they're able to get in close enough with Storm's Lost Legion. Another airstrike coming out.
Smokeouters has what? At least a dozen, maybe probably closer to 20-odd large lasers
easily
pointing at them right now as they push through.
It looks like we are getting a little closer. Sir Epic Poner taking the most damage. Right leg is cored out. Loses that right leg. Expert shots coming from the returning team. Good Try coming in to try to be a little buffer zone, but this Annihilator already losing one leg. Does lose the second one as the range was able to get in kill shot by Sea-Wiz. Good Try is trying to disrupt the middle, knowing that Sir Epic Poner is a little weakened. Left leg ready to pop, is getting bullied by Jay-Z, so that way the light mech actually peels away. The rest of Smokeouters is taking a nice overwatching fire with those 3 Enforcers, taking a good range fight. However, notice Thorax, the Stalker, and the hill cover that's being provided right now, it is just Thorax against this team. Then maybe they're in the choke point, but this kill zone looks like it's going away from Thorax. Krellzek managed to get in the kill on the Sir Epic Poner in the background. Artillery strike, Thorax probably putting it out. Does get a kill on the quick draw as well, though. What an amazing shot. Self-destructs off of it. That is a tough trade to have. The Brawlers are pushing in. Looks like Good Try was able to finally bully Jay-Z out of the Light Mech. Probably getting help from the Enforcer, was able to win the fight. The Light Mech is still providing a buffer. Good Try is indeed putting in a good effort to try to get these fights in. Royal Star leading the charge right now, trying to get close again. Both legs are cored out. Royal Star knowing they need to get close, but also knowing that their legs are cored, knows this is going to be a dangerous thing. Good Try wrapping around, putting shots in the Crossler. Crossler trying to help out their teammate, trying to help out the leader, but being harassed by a light mech is becoming difficult. A lot of them are in the thick of it. There goes the legs for Royal Star, only one leg remaining, and also it's Cherry Red. Will they be able to take out Enforcer before it's too late? No. Good Try going and securing the kill. Looks like Captain Judas is the one that's taking the hits. I'm seeing a lot of fire all over the mech and not focused on the legs. Intentional, possibly. With these mechs, it could be light engine and XL check, and that might be the reasoning for it. We're seeing them trying to put the work. They are currently tracking Krellzek, trying to get closer to these two champions. Beautiful art jobs. Will they be enough to blind the foes from their fashion sense? I do not know. I will know in here in just a second, as they're still alive. But this is the thing about long-range mechs. Once you get close to them, that heat becomes too difficult. But again, Good Try. The light mech pick definitely pulling in the effort, pulling the work, as we've been seeing legs pop off. The other champion does lose its right arm, still has 5 mini pulse lasers to their name. Looks like Enforcer finally losing one of their legs, so they're actually being able to be pigeonholed, being stuck, but the other leg is still pretty fresh. Will they go for the other leg, or will they just try to go with the fight? Again, being ripped apart from both sides. Both arms and both legs gone. It is just down to a rear torso, and Good Try takes it. Smokeouters leading this week 1 of ISC. 2 wins against 0.
That was a beautifully played range drop by Smokeouters.
Their positioning really in that early game scout. I'm going to give this up to Good Try quite a bit. Good Try had the early game info, and we all know in these 6v6 formats, when you see 1 or 2 mechs, that's like nearly half their team if math follows. And so if you see 1 or 2 mechs, in that case, the whole team gives you a pretty good idea of where to set up. And even though they not to take away from Storm's Lost Legion, they did push that Annihilator. They were able to catch the Annihilator a little bit out, but not because of any mispositioning, just because of how slow the Annihilator can go. But again, great holding, great fighting, great Overwatches. Enforcers definitely pulling their work. That Stalker is still managing to kill when all things were being choked up in these choke points. Honestly, it was a great fight. Again, not disappointed by both these teams.
Not only did he play that beautifully, but his team enabled him to pull that sort of hard carry performance that you can do on a light mech. The Flea 17 runs, what, 6 small pulse lasers in a small laser? Probably just 6 small pulse, depending on the agility choice of the pilot. But a lot of what those enforcers and that stalker did, they opened up Lost Legion to the point where Good Try could dive in, rip a leg off, get a kill, and dive out again without having to spend enough face time that he was going to get blown up himself. Beautifully done.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and publish the stats for the team so they have this info just in case things go weird, things go sour. I want to be able to help them out in the future. And we'll take a quick who got the most damage. Coming out of Smoke Adders, we actually see a wonderful 456 damage called closely by 432. Mad Cat 3050, Captain Judas following. And then out of Storm Lost Legion, we do see 482 out of Royal Star with their Dragon. That's the Sum Does PPCs, followed closely by Heavy Money and their Champion, 393 damage. Good fight. Good match. Moving on.
Yeah, right now.
Which mech? I missed that entirely. Go ahead.
The Jaeger mech.
Jaeger mech. Honestly, it'd be interesting to see it. Again, the Jaeger mech, just like the Rifleman, sometimes suffer from the left and right arms being easy to rip and sometimes most of the armament. But, I mean, there's versions of the Rifleman that actually has a decent ER large laser build. It absolutely could be a mech we could fight. I'm going to start wherever team I'm next to if you want to run over to the other one, okay? And then you can tell me.
All right. And I'll just need to basically remind myself on what the controls are for spectator.
You're looking at tab, backspace, spacebar, WASD to move around, R to raise up height, F to lower the... Well, lower yourself.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Here to help you out.
Okay, so right. I'm at Smoke Adders?
Yeah, I'm looking over... No, I'm at Smoke Adders. You're at Team 1. So going over the teams real quick for Smoke Adders, we're seeing from Unfearing Champion 2N, we're actually seeing Rick88 bring back the Stalker. We do see Mad Cat and a Vulcan 5T. Good Try back in their fleet. Chad and the Warman 6R and Vindicated in the Stalker. So all Stalkers now being officially used. We are seeing 60 ER large lasers coming out of the Stalkers with a couple of rockets being brought by Vindicated. Love to see it. 2 ER PPCs, 2 Light Gauss coming out of the Warhammer. Champion 2N bringing the ER PPC and 2 Light Gauss. Vulcan 5T bringing the typical 5 medium pulse laser spread. And I'm assuming Fleet 17 is either bringing the medium pulse small laser build or all small pulse lasers. We are seeing, as soon as I catch up to the little bugger, 6 small pulse lasers and 1 laser. Also a very great build. What do you see out of Team 1 being Storm's Lost Legion?
So Storm's Lost Legion is bringing another, I'd call this a moderately longer range brawl build, because we're seeing a pair of Stalkers that are running ER large lasers, ER mids, and there's also a pair of these Shadowhawk 2Ks that are running SRMs and light PPCs with a Wolfhound at MPLs for scouting and capping. Which tells me this is still, to me, very much a brawl build, but it's a brawl build that's accepting that the brawl is going to start at about 500 meters rather than the 300s we want.
I agree. And once again, UEV coming out of Storm Lost Legion, Serpent Boner is grabbing Theta once again, and Smoke is doing the same kind of strat, not securing the Gamma pickup, not to signal their advance. Vulcan and Fleet 17 providing Overwatch is able to see at least some of the enemy team move into Theta, but not the full team yet. This is going to be an interesting fight. I think that it's going to come down to who can get closer to who. And yeah, I think that with these increased ranges coming out of Storm Lost Legion, they can start putting a little bit more fire into the enemy team before they get close enough, maybe making the difference. Because their brawl push, while it didn't do as well as their first drop, definitely did considerable damage as well.
It almost looks like Lost Legion is going for what I'd call an ambush strat here. Because they've sliver capped Theta, and they're keeping an eye on the easy ways to sneak in through Gamma, but they're just kind of waiting there like a hungry toad for Smoke Adders to wander into them and get squished, which
UAV
that
shots
is a
going out.
solid plan.
Nice airstrike coming out for Smoke Adders. Let's see if they actually get the hits. Oh, just barely missing the enemy team. What a great airstrike. The UAVs were shot out, so if they didn't know where the enemy team was, Smoke Adders does now. Smoke Adders getting a few shots hit on Good Try. Their light mech pilot that pulled a lot of work. They did secure Gamma to keep the points relatively, going to both sides. Looks like they're actually giving up Gamma, instead going for the long range play, coming to Smoke Adders to see if they can receive yet again another push.
I think the plan from Smoke Adders here, they're falling back to a nice defensible hillside that has very little cover to push over through, and they're just sort of basically daring Lost Legion to take Gamma and push into them.
Now, with that said, Storm Lost Legion making use of their own cover, knowing that there's going to be a nice little dead man or a kill zone approaching them. Dead Man's Land, I think, is the actual term. But either
No Man's Land.
No Man's Land. That's why I keep you around, Zane. You keep me on point. looks like we had a couple of shots going towards the Vulcan 5T, dropped down to 91%. 90% is the lowest between both teams right now. The Vulcan, though, is not too worse for wear. No leg damage to speak of whatsoever. Looks like it's a lot of trade, pokey, like, hey, let me know you're here kind of shots coming out. Now, again, Smokehunters does have the better range and definitely a little more of the skill shot when it comes to PPCs. Now, the benefit of lasers versus PPCs. Lasers, they will probably get some damage. The PPCs, Gauss Rifle, if they miss, that's no damage to speak of. So now it's going to come down to who can trade better and who can poke a little bit better. Again, giving Smokehunters a little bit of a range focus.
And it's not the exciting play, but honestly, if I'm Lost Legion, I just need to sit tight. I have the points lead. If I really want to put the pressure on, I can send my Wolfhound to go get Kappa. But Smokehunters needs to be the one to change the situation here. In Magic terms, we'd call Lost Legion as having the tempo in the game, meaning that if they sit here and do nothing and nothing changes, Lost Legion will win this game.
It's true. I do see a little bit of scouting coming out from Unfearing, and a little bit of it was originally starting out from Good Try. I wonder if Good Try is going to make a jump all the way to the other push. It does look like Storm Lost Legion is getting a little tired of waiting around. A decent airstrike coming out, hitting Rick 88. I don't know how damaged they're going to be, but it still let him know that they see him once again. Unfearing still providing a buffer zone right here with the large lasers and, ERPPCs and light Gauss coming out of this mech. So, will Storm Lost Legion just move like trench line by trench line, trying to get close, trying to make use of whatever they can? Again,
JC has also been taking some interesting trades here in this Stalker. I think he's catching more PVCs than he's giving out in large lasers.
Sea-Wiz making the push with the Shadowhawks and Wolfhound falling in from the rear. Does look like they are tired of waiting and want to get more shots in. Smokehunters, compared to the map, looks like they're a little lower on the side. We do hear a component get exploded off of somebody. Unfortunately, we did miss who that went to. Fight's getting tight. There we go. The Chad and the Warmer 6R taking a lot of damage. Remember, it is an XL mech, and there it goes. Center CT gone. Now we see Good Try getting a couple of shots. They were ready to be close. We do see Heavy Money. Great shots coming out of Smokehunters, taking out the leg. Will the other leg get destroyed or not? We do see him actually going for a Vindicated. Stalker being isolated a little bit. Stalker is able to get taken out. This is a great brawl push that's actually succeeded as they're able to run into the enemy line, split it in the middle, and then take out remnants they could. We have 2 mechs down for Smokehunters, and with Storm Lost Legion, we're down to 53% with their Shadowhawk. Will they be able to actually keep their whole team alive, or will they be able to get in and get another kill? Ooh, we do see an explosion coming out of Rick 88 as they're taking enough damage. Left torso is all that's left, and they see it, they want it, they need it, as they're going for Rick. Rick loses all weapons and then gets quickly taken to the ground. Good Try is doing their best to kind of brawl with the enemy team, trying to keep the Wolfhound busy. The Wolfhound, knowing he can win that 1v1 fight, is trying to chase them down with the last 2 other range mechs, one other range mech being Unfearing. Team laner for Smokehunters, right torso is ripped, but still putting out those shots, trying to see if he do something with it. Does lose its 2 light Gauss with that weapon explosion. Looks like they did overheat for so much damage coming out. Cherry Red finally going down as well. It does look like this is going slowly but surely to Storm Lost Legion. The Vulcan 5T probably here in the comps to disengage or at least try to get into a better position. Unfortunately, with an XL check, it goes down as well. All this coming down to the light mech. But the light mech's fight is over as Syrup opponent are able to clean up with Good Try, taking him out of the fight. Storm's Lost Legion not losing a single mech, but going down to 47%, 53% by 2 enemy friendly mechs, 58%. No one over 90%. Everyone got in the fight, everyone got in the brawl, and we got to see some glorious mech action. Good job to Storm Lost Legion as they take this round 3, giving them 1 win versus 2 for Smokehunters.
So I'm not one to say that sometimes teams need a wake-up call, but it seems that Storm Legion decided to take off the kid gloves for this one for that push.
No, they definitely knew what they were doing. These last 3 fights, they've kind of considered to the brawl, but I have to give them credit. They didn't just go for the brawl. They actually went for a little bit of range like you spoke, so they were able to get shots in without feeling they were having to push into the enemy. Unfearing, bringing the most damage out of their Champion 2 and ERPPC Light Gauss, and 707 damage coming out of the Stalker 7D piloted by JZ. Ooh. Hope he's got his farmer's hat, because that was a good farm. Moving on to the next round, next match. Let's get it on!
This is actually another really smart thing I think Not Bob and the Aces Wild crew did, is they instituted a division system this year. We talked about Div A, Div B. But what that means for me, especially as somebody who, like, my first comp tournament was ISC last year with 2D20. And because that was just, 16 teams in a Swiss, the first 2-3 matches were a complete gamble whether you'd get a quality match or not. It wasn't really until week 3 or week 4 that you started to get teams matched into sort of the right skill bracket. But by going with the division system, what we can do is start to see quality matches from week 1, and it's better practice and frankly a more fun experience for each of these teams in those divisions.
Oh, absolutely. And again, it's beautiful stuff when you actually see it put down, not just from paper, but into the match themselves. Real quick, we also want to kind of go over all the mechs builds. We had a request for that to make sure we do go over everybody's builds. Just because we're used to them doesn't mean everyone else is. So coming out of Storm Lost Legion, we're already seeing 2 assassins coming out. We're probably running the SRMs if I had to put a guess. Let's double check right now. Yeah, we're seeing SRM 6 Artemis, 3 of them each for both the assassins. We have 2 Marauders coming out, the 4 HP to be exact. We have, with their build, probably something a little bit substantial as well. Yep, 8 SRM 6 Artemis coming out from both mechs. Love to see it. We see the final Stalker coming out of JZ with 4 SRM 6 Artemis. We also see with 4 large lasers. And then finally the Wolverine, 1 Flamer, 3 SRM 6 Artemis. We do see Out of Smoke Adders already putting out shots. If it's okay with you, Zane, I'm just going to go over their mechs real quick. All right, we got 1 ERPC coming to 6 AC2s for the Annihilator. We have 2 Grasshoppers, finally seeing them come out, with the Grasshoppers themselves are going to be going ahead and running a 3 ER large laser, 4 ER medium, very classic build. A lot of them making use of these silos and jump jets right here. We do see the Marauder coming out, 5M coming out Vindicated with a 2 ERPC 2 like us. We do see a little wall positioning. Can't even barely see this mech with the fitting enough, the 3_ named pilot ERPC like us, final champion coming out. And once again, the Grasshopper probably running something very similar. Yes, indeed, the 3 are large lasers and 4 mediums. Now, quickly to move into the action, we do see some good shots coming out of Smoke Adders, trying to put a good peppering and a nice artillery barrage coming out towards Storm Lost Legion, bringing down the enemy team, or the friendly team for Storm Lost Legion, down to, looks like, 86% for grip space on the Marauder. Will they be damaged enough to truly matter? Beautiful paint job, by the way. No, it looks like it's okay. Left arm cord out. But they're trying to get closer. Another great artillery strike coming out of probably Mech 3050 as they put it on that corner to put some shots. Now, again, Storm Lost Legion not losing hope. Still going for more of a brawl push. Needs to get involved. Again, they have a lot of energy. And we do see this beautiful setup coming Smoke Adders, being able to actually claim a lot of the range finds and be able to get into a proper position. Maybe the Annihilator being a little out of position for the time being, but not to be out of position for probably too long. As we see Storm's Lost Legion making their push, going down the line, see if they can get closer and closer to the enemy team. Here we go. Moving in, see Wiz leading the push down to 92%, but still ready to fight. And Storm's Lost, or excuse me, Smoke Adders trying to do the same thing they did in the previous maps of Polar Islands, just trying to kind of give a nice little conclave so they can get shots on all angles. We do see Chad putting out some good shots on Rollstar as he made the cross. Jay-Z getting a little peppered right now, getting gosh shot from the champion on that hill, on that wall, being piloted by Underscore, able to put a return fire, but is now getting hit from 2 sides. Chad and the Underscore putting great shots into that Stalker. Unfortunately, not enough for them to be able to put a nice recovering fire. The Marauder still putting great shots coming out of Vindicated, able to get a nice little side angle. That Annihilator unfairing backed up instead, allowing to receive Jay-Z's push. Jay-Z separate from the main team and getting hit from 2 different sides, does go down. We do see it Madcap putting back shots into Griffin space. Again, the same thing, probably getting repeating as we're seeing them getting hit from all angles. Right now we see Storm Lost Legion kind of spread out. The Assassins, though, being able to get a nice little flank, putting shots on the Grasshopper. Looks like Rick is one to be focused right now, as that mech will probably get XL checks here in a second. Looks like that Rig Turrets are ready to pop. Will they be able to take it down before yet another team member is going down? Seraphic Punter is pushing the other side of the flank, trying to buy time for these Assassins in the Wolverine. Rick 88 does go down, but quickly Sea-Wiz still Underscore champion putting out some great shots. Let's check on the status over here. Seraphic Punter getting in close with the Annihilator, trying to put the shots in. The Annihilator does have some great weapon power, but when they're pushed up like this, it's going to be a little tough. Now, hopefully they don't get into range of each other, in front of each other. Oh, it looks like the Annihilator is going to be eaten alive. Not to be disappointed, Chad tried to avenge their comrade, is still putting shots in with Vindicated being able to follow him up real quick. We do see the Champion 2N has been noticed, has been shot at, losing their lasers and losing their weapons, but notice the focus fire, not really focusing on that mech just yet. They were hoping to get, unfortunately, Royal Star, who does seem to be a little stuck. Oh no, Mining Collective has caught another victim. Looks like they're actually ignoring that assassin, focusing on Fire Ant instead, trying to put shots on them. Champion 2N finally does go down, so they managed to achieve that kill. Well, Madcap disengaged. Oh, Madcap did snake around and get Assassin as well, or excuse me, get the last Assassin out of Storm Lost Legion with 1 more remaining. We do see the Seraphic opponent in Griffin space trying to take the Marauders over to get closer to Dechad. Dechad is a little beaten up. Dechad trying to put shots on the final assassin, seeing if they can actually get the angles that they need. Notice that only one cap has been grabbed, no focus on caps at all, even though that Smoke Eaters does have a Vulcan who can actually get it, but it looks like they're still trying to maintain that range game. Vindicated takes some great proper shots, actually getting a component off of Griffin space down to no weapons whatsoever, right, left torso, it is stripped. It's effectively not helping out in the fight unless it's able to be focused on it all. But it looks like the Mad Cat 30-50 able to get good shots at Seraphic opponent trying to run away, but he's taking back shots as well as shots from Vindicated, having to drop down to ignore some of the shots. But meanwhile, Fire Ant actually taking out Grasshopper. We knew the Grasshopper was defeated or worked up by Dechad. Only 4 SRM6 Artemis is remaining on Seraphic Throne, still being attacked by the Vulcan. Looks like the comps came in. Mad Cat 30 is now being suppressed by Fire Ant. Does Mad Cat care? No, Mad Cat still looking to get shots on Seraphic opponent, knowing they need to focus to fire. Griffin space not to be like, hey, don't forget about me, I'm still here. Trying to block some shots from Vindicated. Little jump jet usage, so we're still maintaining the shots on Seraphic opponent. Seraphic opponent is also stripped, so now it's coming down to just the Assassin 23 with both legs, left and right stripped, but still yellow. Trying to go for Vindicated. Vindicated taking their opening shot, actually getting a great hit on them. Ooh, look at that close on action. Now, ideally, the Assassin wins this fight, but it is damaged. If they get the torso to be ideal, but the Vulcan 5T is here. The Vulcan 5T with the 5 mini pulses, which should make quick work of this Assassin. And there it goes. So, yes, while Team 1, Storm Lost Legion does have 2 mechs, it looks like they're even trying to go for some cap points if possible. Looks like they are stripped. This should go towards Vulcan and to the Vindicated Marauder, the Smoke Adders.
So a stripped mech can still cap points, and you do see that Seraphic opponent has flipped Theta cap and is going to sit on it. I don't know that it'll be enough.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with this kind of position in the field, they have 2 live mechs who are able to put out the fire powder. Griffin space is being farmed a little bit right now. Looks like the leg was taken out. Looks like their rear armor is torso. Looks like we got a strikeout coming out of Griffin space, trying to save their armor, trying to save their damage, maybe get a cheeky little artillery strike on this Vulcan. Will it be enough? And sadly, the Vulcan, Mad Cat 30-50, they have the years on them. They know when to leave. Now it's coming to Seraphic opponent, going for the collision. Oh, and unfortunately, it does get taken down. This fight going to Smoke Adders as they did a great retreating withdrawal, being able to cover each other as they did so. Got some great crossfire shots on the Storm's Lost Legion before they even had a chance to actually get some good shots in. And again, going for pure brawl seems to be a little bit of a tough thing when you have a full range team and they know how to use that range. But again, not to be disappointed, Storm Lost Legion did take out 4 of the enemies, even though they did a little split and conquer. They were able to put a little damage, and it could have possibly gone towards them. But again, the Vulcan 5T, being a clutch, close-range brawler, was able to bring it back for them.
Yeah, Smoke Adders played that very well with how they did the sort of staggered retreat, and they were constantly being able to get shots on Lost Legion as they tried to make that push through.
Oh, absolutely. And just a really quick shout out. So coming out of Smoke Adders, 674 damage coming out of the Vulcan 5T piloted by Mad Cat 30-50. 641 damage coming out of that Marauder 5 and the last 2 max for Smoke Adders piloted by Vindicated. And then for Storm Lost Legion, 622 coming out of the Fire Ant, which normally is a flea mech, but instead they're piloting an Assassin 23 just to make it confusing, but still putting out the damage, followed quickly by the Marauder 4 HP running all those SRM Artemis and 553 damage. Good damage by all, good fighting by all. Let's get into the lobby for the final match.
Now, out of curiosity, Yuntow, if you had to pick a Black Horse mech for drop 5, what's the pocket pick mech that you think we haven't seen yet?
You know, I haven't seen it. I don't know if it's good still, because my problem with it still is how low the armaments are, but the 6 light PPC Black Knight. It got some good quirks, or at least better quirks. It's got some good stuff. Looks like the teams are ready to play, by the way. That would be kind of an interesting one to see. What about yourself? What do you think would be kind of cool? And chat, what do you think? What do you think would be kind of interesting mech to see?
I'm aware the mech is garbage. I have a deep affection for the cataphract, both because it's one of the first words that I read and actually pronounced correctly, but also because the issues with the mech, can be absolutely exposed on Mining Collective. If you play it right, you can absolutely mitigate the awful elevation on the guns on that mech. And, it's a giant pile of armor to push into somebody. It's a good mech for that.
I mean, I do think it's a respectable mech. I mean, it's kind of the same thing as, a Thanatos would be kind of a random mech to see in these kind of drops. Just because, it provides, again, the same kind of good wall sniping. And I know people want to bring their dire wolves and stuff like that in their other clan mechs, but sometimes you gotta take what you can get. maybe the Fafnir of ECM, but I mean, honestly, the champions did a good job. The underscore doing that champion work was pretty fantastic. All right, I'm gonna go over Smoke Adders real quick, and then we'll go over into the other team. So Rick88 bringing on the champion 2 and final champion. Let's do the end of the match. Now the Vulcan 5T coming out for Mad Cat, a Marauder, final Warhammer coming out for Vindicated, and then underscore respectively, final Annihilator and final Grasshopper. Looks like they did make use of all their tonnage and all their weapon power. We do see very similar drop weapon groups as we saw previously, with long range being the focus. We got an ERPPC 2 Lycos on the champion, ERPPC and 662s on the Annihilator, 2 ERPPCs, 2 Lycos on the Marauder. We see a Warhammer underscore going for a 4 ER laser build and also going for an interesting sidewall push. Love that. Grasshopper 5 HP we already went over, and looks like we already have our light mech, or excuse me, our medium mech, the Vulcan 5T getting in close. Real quick, what does Stormlost Legion have?
So they're running a very range drop here with a pair of Grasshopper 5Hs, a pair of Annihilator 1As, and a pair of Vulcan 5Ts. The Vulcans are at MPL, the Grasshoppers are at the classic build of 5 ER large lasers, and the... I need to grab one of the Annihilators, double check its build. Give me
Honestly, I just checked one of them. You're going to be surprised to see what you see.
I'm thinking AC2s, but if you're telling me I'm surprised, I might be wrong.
I'll make it quick for you because I think the action's going to be happening here in just a moment. 3 AC-10s and 3 light PPCs coming out of both Annihilators. So a little bit of range, but a little bit of a close range fight. So they made those very interesting choices. We already see the ER Legends coming out, the Grasshopper putting shots, hopefully trying to set up the team. Now, honestly, looking at Smoke Adders, they are sitting for somewhat of a range drop, but they're also securing the Kappa Gamma, which is something they did not do before. It looks like the Grasshoppers are what's bringing out the shops. The Annihilator really not liking that building, put some shots on it. Maybe they're trying to hope that they could destroy it and make it to where they can climb up it. Sadly, that is not in the game. Can't wait for that to happen. We do see a lot of large lasers coming out. Looks like they are trying to trade with the underscores Warhammer on the far back, putting out some great shots with those large lasers. Those jump jets proving to be quite useful to get on top of that building. Love to see that. I don't think I've seen that in a long time. We have 2 cap lead coming out of Stormlost Legion, but we're still waiting to see what transfers over besides these long-range trades.
I don't love Flep's positioning here just because he has absolutely no cover on this silo.
That is true. He is being a little brazen on it, but you gotta think about it. What have they seen so far? Vulcans, Grasshoppers, and they have a Warhammer and another Grasshopper providing support fire with it. So I can see it being a little brave right now. We're about to see the Marauder peak here in a second. PPCs and 2 light guys going again for Flep. So we will see eventually if these trades matter. See UAV coming at JZ trying to be a little protective because they know that these enemy mechs are closer, trying to get the info early on. Little damage coming to Krail.
Mad Cat being sneaky here, trying to keep eyes on Theta, maybe even sneak up for a quick cat.
Yeah, just look at their scout net. It looks like Royal Star and JZ are putting some good shots with the Vulcan, trying to hit Krail. They were firing at maximum range right now, because again, doesn't matter if your shots are hitting, as that mech is cored out and right towards are opened up. Looks like they're trying to disengage. We do see Mad Cat, instead of going for Theta, actually goes for a little support fire. They are somewhat isolated against 2 Vulcan pilots, though. Looks like they were just hoping to poke and hope for the delay, and it looks like they're pulling out of that fight. Wise move and wise decision, but sadly, Krail won't be able to trade easily for the rest of this fight.
I mean, if I'm Lost Legion, I have Sigma, I have Theta. I need to sit here and wait for you to push into me.
And with Smoke Adders running the range drop, it's not a lot of maneuverability that it affords them right now. We do see Flep actually losing some of the trading fight, and this is actually a lesson that I'm not super surprised, because we all just want to get in a fight. Week 1 is going to be the most interesting fights. Ooh, nice airstrike coming out of Smoke Adders. What you're seeing right now is a little bit of, hey, I want to fight. So, like, maybe you're right. You're absolutely right, actually, I think, Zane, that Stormlost Legion doesn't really need to peek at all. They have this fight. They probably need the info, but with the 2 Vulcan 5Ts, they're definitely going to get that. Right now, they could just sit and hang out. The Annihilators are getting closer and closer, though, trying to see if they can secure Theta even more. Probably giving the info to Smoke Adders. JZ actually getting ripped apart right now. Looks like another strike is coming out. Nice little dancing going around as well for the JZ, trying to flex that fashion once again. Smoke Adders is having to move up slowly but surely. Looks like they have mostly congregated around their Warhammer, the champion, the Grasshoppers. Ooh! Krail, being the weakest one out of it, does lose its other torso. Looks like they're either running a light engine or standard engines. They have only 1 ER or 2 ER mediums, but more importantly, they're not dead, which sounds pretty good.
Honestly, though, if I'm Sir Epic Owner or Griffin Space, I brought an Annihilator with AC-10s and a light PPC. Even if I win this match, I'm going to be a little disappointed if I never get to smack somebody with those.
Right. And I think it's what it comes down for a lot of people. Like, week 1 is probably going to be the craziest matches, and then as the weeks go by, we'll see some more quote-unquote like thoughtful, considerate builds or considered fights. Not to take away from both these teams, I think both these teams are playing amazingly, and they're doing their best to actually get what kind of advantage out of it. And again, Mining Collective is a small map. A 2-cap lead, while important, doesn't matter as much as like just winning the fight. Looks like Unfearing putting some great shots on those Vulcans. Royal Star having to hide around the cover, dropping down to 68%. Left arm opened up, but the rest of the mech is still okay. Unfortunately, took a nasty rear shot. Looks like the Annihilators, though, are pushing up from Stormlost Legion. They know they have the 2-cap lead, but they are, I guess, somewhat losing their trade fight right now. Flep dropping to 53%, Sea-Wiz dropping down to 64%, so they want to get those fresh Annihilators in. But now we have to see. Smoke Adders, we've already seen it before, and they're kind of doing it right now. The Griffin Space has an amazing crossfire going on. Those Grasshoppers and Marauders putting amazing shots into the Annihilator. It looks like Stormlost Legion, knowing this, does push in. Griffin does go down, or does take out an enemy mech. The Champion 2N must have been a little weakened or crossed over because they were able to get smashed by that Griffin Space as those AC 10s now coming in clutch, knowing that they have a proper push going out. Again, Unfearing with their Annihilator 2As, putting some great shots on the range mechs, still providing a lot of covering fire for the enemy team as that Stormlost Legion is trying to make their brawl push after a little bit of range push in and work. Ooh, things are getting even closer and closer. JZ with the Vulcan 5T getting a little closer, putting shots into that Warhammer. Warhammer is actually going down to a left torso being open. Ooh, being shot again by, looks like Royal Star, Royal Star and their Vulcan 5T. Like I said, they're just harassing, still maintaining the 2-cap lead, still putting up the harassment, now allowing Smoke Adders to get comfortable or think about their actions. And at this point, Stormlost Legion looks like they're kind of winning this. Again, they're putting out the range fights, Unfearing pretty much fresh as a Annihilator can be, putting out great shots. The Grasshoppers now allowing them to peek through. Looks like most of the Smoke Ladders have taken the side castle and are trying to use that to advantage. A component going after this Marauder, it's got a close range mech next to him. It's also got the Grasshoppers firing at it, even though those Grasshoppers are weak and damaged. Doesn't mean that Vindicator can't get cored out or left torso ripped open. Though JZ, hungry, fighting at the bit, wants to get the kill. Gets pushed back a little bit by Mad Cat, just a little disengaged. Mad Cat dropping to the low ground. Warhammer taking some nasty shots from those Grasshoppers. Those Grasshoppers might be low, but it doesn't mean that they're scared. They're still putting in those shots, not shits. Maybe in some way. That's why we don't wear any clothing when we play in our mechs, because sometimes you gotta go when you gotta go. Now we do see Griffin Space and Serpent Component and those Annihilators actually pushing on a very far angle. Light PPCs coming in, some use, maybe getting crossfire shots on the rest of Smoke Adders. Smoke Adders kind of having to use this side cover as much as they can. But all that's doing is allowing them to be open to the Grasshoppers. Again, the Grasshoppers almost gone, almost destroyed completely. One touch for Sea-Wiz. Flip is looking at one touch as well. We hear components exploding as the Igniters are getting closer. Looks like Unfearing is actually taking a lot of shots. JZ finally getting up to Krail, taking out their Grasshopper without too much trouble. Looks like the Mad Cats, though. We have JZ also taking out Mad Cat as well. Looks like the Vulcans got in close and dirty with the Igniters pushing out their other Igniter, was not able to provide covering fire for this push. But Vindicated, wanting to be vindicated, takes out JZ. Love those shots. Royal Star being focused by the Another, or by Unfearing, because those other Igniters can't put shots on it. A nice little trade for trade action underscore getting taken up by Royal Star, but Royal Star being taken up by Unfearing. Two Annihilators still trying to put shots. Vindicated still alive. Looks like the Grasshopper by Sea-Wiz is getting a little bit closer, knowing that this next few moments is going to decide the entire match. Vindicated, take another nasty hit. So has 2 air PPC, 2 like us, but do they know? Are they aware that the Grasshopper is right behind them? Unfearing cannot give that info. Unfearing is actually going for the Annihilators. Sea-Wiz is not even bothering with the Marauder. Instead, trying to assist with these Annihilator shots, putting a lot of damage, but 52% from the other Annihilator. This one going down to only 1 light PPC. Unfearing, they're another right torso rip, but still has 6 AC2s of awesome Docker power. Looks like those two Annihilators are trying to trace that mech down. Is Vindicated and the Grasshopper fighting it off? Or are they just trying to... Oh, look, there we go. Sea-Wiz putting some nice shots into that Marauder. Marauder's still trying to put shots in the Annihilators, knowing that if they can actually assist on those back shots, maybe they can make this a little bit of an even spread. But even so, look at the point count. 6 minutes left in the match and a heavy lead going to Stormlost Legion. Stormlost Legion finally taking out Vindicated. That comes down to the Annihilators and their Annihilator push, their Annihilator brawl. Both mechs, both teams go down. Unfearing taking out Seraphic Putter. Griffin Space, fresh as you can be, but we'll line 1 light PPC. Will they be able to get that right towards line? Yes, they will. Dropping Unfearing to 3 AC2s, an ER PPC. Some of that damage explosion going down to the right leg. But now, Sea-Wiz trying to get in closer, provide some firing power. Looks like they are getting a nice little peeky hole right there. Unfearing getting pelted by that light PPC. There has no use for running about range right now. It does, however, feel that either Unfearing was way too hot. I think that might have been the case because he stopped firing. Looks like the Annihilator is getting focused down. Who will win? Which Annihilator will get it? Would it be Griffin Space or Unfearing? Unfearing takes it, but not before putting out a smoke to deny the enemy maybe a little bit more of their armor. Now it's going to come down to just who can... I mean, I was going to say it's going to come down to who's feeling gutsy enough, because I think Stormlost Legion can't lose this game, but Sea-Wiz not even wanting to give them the kill. Being one touch in the center of CT makes sense. Absolutely makes sense why they would be like that.
It turns out that one fresh Annihilator is in fact better than two slightly damaged Annihilators.
And especially 682s. Like, 682s is a lot of DACA. It's pinpoint DACA at that. ERPC may be doing a little splash damage for sure, but at 3 AC-10s, while they could do a lot of work, we're working together. Again, Vindicated provided great crossfire, actually pushing into the back of the Annihilators. I think probably stripping that one of those Annihilators down to 1 PPC, definitely making the fight more a little bit towards Unfearing. Now it's going to come down to Sea-Wiz brave enough or foolish enough to peek an Annihilator with 6 AC-2s.
Now, I have to ask, you've played the Annihilator 2A. How's the convergence for all those AC-2s?
Oh, it's honestly, it's not too bad at all. The only time it becomes an issue is when you're in close brawl, but even so, like, with most of it being on the close to the torso as well, with only 2 being on the arms, because again, those AC-2s are spread out. It's 2 to the left, 2 to the right, 2 to the left torso, 2 to the right torso. And so it doesn't really too much. It does look like the action's about to happen. Sea-Wiz looking for a cheeky little poke, putting the shots in, and then Unfearing, not being afraid, not being terrified at all, does able to take the kill. And so while the match is going to be lost towards Smoke Adders, giving the Stormlost Legion 2 wins in total, Smoke Adders put up a great fight and were able to put up enough damage to win the brawl. What a great way to start this first week. What a great way to start off ISC. Smoke Adders, Stormlost Legion, thank you for the fight. Thank you for the games. These were amazing to behold, and I can't wait for week 2.
Bit of a Pyrrhic victory there for Unfearing. He's the last mech alive, and unfortunately the scoreboard has decided he doesn't get to win this game.
Real quick, we're going to go ahead and look at the defeat that would happen to Smoke Adders. Still with 815 damage coming out Unfeared, 756 coming out of Vindicated. Again, great damage coming out of Stormlost Legion, 534 coming out of Sea-Wiz and the Grasshopper, with 494 coming to Jeezy and the Vulcan 5T. Honestly, great fight and well-earned victory by both these teams. In the next one, happy hunting, and once again, thank you, Mechwarrior Online community. Thank you, MWO Comp. Thank you, ISC. Thanks for being dope. I hope you enjoyed the cast. If you enjoyed it, and with all the changes that we made on the fly as much as we could, definitely hit me up. We'll make sure we get you in the next one, or at least we'll get you, we'll be casting your match as well.